So everyone knows the Ray Rice incident. And since that incident, domestic violence has really been pushed to the forefront with the NFL. But the truth is, it's actually been a problem for a long time in the background. Okay, I gotta start again. I want to start again, just like we did.
We get one mulligan.
Yeah, we get all again.
Everybody gets one.
Yeah. Okay, I'm ready. I see. Good?
Yeah.
Great. So everyone knows the Ray Rice video and domestic violence. And since then, it's really been pushed into the limelight. But truth is, it's actually been a problem in a long time, the background. But before we talk about the NFL aspect of it, I want to talk about domestic violence. Domestic violence is actually quite hard to define, being it's so broad. The main way to look at it is control over someone. This control could come in many ways different from physical control, like Ray showed us in the elevator video. This control can be verbal control, emotional control, economic control. And economic control is actually quite understandable given the amount of money an NFL player makes. But this is not me defending the NFL because domestic violence is so hard to define. Because in fact, the NFL does have a major problem with domestic violence. As you can see on the graph, it's number one by quite a bit. But it's not dealt with very seriously when doling out punishment. If a player commits any of these other crimes, sex offense, DUI, drugs, they are given a pretty hefty fine and an in-game suspension. Suspensions 4 to 6 games, depending on the severity of the crime, but not with domestic violence. If a player commits this crime, they'll get a small fine, suspension of game 1, if any. The Ray Rice video, which was so infamous, he only got 2 games before this new approach has taken root. And this new approach I'm talking about is the NFL, but more specifically Roger Goodell, the commissioner of the NFL, realizing that something is wrong and that new change needs to happen, and it has to happen now. And I want you guys to hear it from the man himself. And this is a short, quick video, it's only a minute, of Roger Goodell talking about this new change and admitting he was wrong. And now Matt needs to know again.
Escape.
So first time that you addressed the owners since this whole Ray Rice situation, was there much questioning from the owners about how to handle it? And did you detect any disagreement from them, the process that took place?
No, I was very open with them about where we failed in the process, and very open with all of you. I've been very open publicly about where we made mistakes, what we've done correctly to make sure that they don't happen again. There, frankly, was a very open dialogue about that from my perspective. I was very honest and open with them, and there wasn't a lot of discussion following that. We went immediately into other aspects of what we're trying to do in this area to make sure we have the right policy in place, to do the right kind of things, to make sure that we come to the right conclusions going forward. It's my job, obviously, to admit mistakes, but more importantly, it's my job to go and figure out how we're not going to have those mistakes occur again.
So it's hard to say if real change will actually happen, but I believe that if a man steps up and says he's wrong, puts his best foot forward, that change can come. And I'm not generally an optimist, so take it and leave it. The last thing I want to talk about is that it's quite easy to look at the NFL very negatively with all this that's happening with domestic violence, and to see the players as all wife beaters. But this is actually not true. There's actually some genuine people within the system, and one such individual is Charles Tillman. Charles Tillman is the member of Chicago Bears, and he runs many charitable organizations. But the most prominent organization he runs is the Cornerstone Foundation, And the Cornerstone Foundation's main purpose is to aid critically sick children within the Chicago area. Because of this, he was awarded the Walter Payton Man of the Year Award, and this award recognizes outstanding charitable donations and works from an NFL player. So I want you to look at Tillman and realize that there is another side to this coin, that not all NFL players are wife beaters, and that when domestic violence does come up, that we look at the individual and not the organization as a whole.